All right. I, Nicole Devlin, am going to talk about purity. Now, there are those of you who are going to laugh at that, right? Because I don't exactly sound like a super clean cut, pure, polite human being. But I kind of am, but I'm not, right? I'm still a New Yorker, so that's kind of out of reach for somebody like me, and I don't want to be a pure person. And so I tried to describe this a little bit in the caption. What do I really think of as purity? I mean, I don't, you know, I had a rather wild upbringing and some crazy adolescent years, and certainly a lot of the things I said and did were absolutely like the furthest on the spectrum from what anyone would call pure personally, sexually, emotionally, in terms of my feelings, my actions, how much I hurt people. I was definitely a self absorbed tornado, right? And you can't really, I don't think anyway, be like pure of heart whilst tornadoing through people's lives and causing destruction. Now, having said that, I do practice a set of principles that enables me to come to understand what certain things mean, to be able to redefine things so that I understand them better. I don't mean redefining in the sense of like, I'm going to totally change the definition of what this means. That's not exactly it. But things like, for example, purity or humility or sins, like the way those words resonated or hit me heretofore was about, oh, it's some religious concept that I don't understand or I'm dismissing because it's too moral and it doesn't fit how I am, or I think it's just pure bullshit. But yet I don't dismiss things like that. Like I don't look at things and be like, oh, I don't want anything of that. Like, and in particular, things that rub me the wrong way. In fact, I become more inquisitive because I'm like, why does that rub me the wrong way? Because I understand, as someone who's trying to evolve, that when things rub me the wrong way, it demands an extra look. It demands that I look more closely at it. And I don't want to do that. I want to run. So things like, for example, sinning or being pure or humble. I mean, before I was like, oh, who wants to? That doesn't sound like any fun at all. And now I just look at things like that as like I've heard a definition of sinning called missing the mark. I look at humility as me just trying to be a better version of myself, not defined by external circumstances or other people, but defined by an inner knowing and intuitive sense of who I want to be, right? And if I keep that as the beacon or the North Star, this person that I know I truly am and or want to be evolving into, then that beacon lets me know that that beacon is true humility, and I'm just trying to move towards it without being perfect. And so this idea of purity, I had this experience where something was bothering me, and here's the thing: like when things bother me, my first default is to try to not let it bother me. Sometimes that works, and sometimes that's an avoidance tactic where I just don't really want to feel my feelings. I don't want to be vulnerable with people that I'm looking at as being stupid fucking assholes. I want to blame how I'm feeling on them. I want to act like they're the problem. If they just disappear or change, that I'd be better and everything would be all right. And that's fundamentally dishonest. And anytime I'm being dishonest, I'm impure. Impure being defined as not really being my full, true, authentic, soul conscious, higher conscious self. And so I ended up having a conversation with somebody who really helped me just talk through it. And part of talking through it is to get to the purity of what I am responsible for. And more than anything, the purity of how I'm really feeling. In order to do that, I can't have people telling me how I should feel. I can't have people giving me unsolicited advice. I need the space of people who can hear me unconditionally, who will validate me because they really mean it, not because they're blowing smoke up my ass, and who will understand in the process of communication that their sole aim is to help me answer the questions that I have, and that their job isn't to answer those questions, it's to actually point me towards answering them. And through that process, which is a very coaching type of relationship that a lot of people don't understand, it is that that person is a buffer or a mirror for me coming to understand what's really happening for me, which fundamentally almost always ends up with me crying or feeling some feelings that I don't want to feel because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to be sad. It's uncomfortable to be angry. It's uncomfortable to not have answers. It's uncomfortable to feel lonely and lost. And I don't want to acknowledge or perceive or admit to any of that fucking nonsense. I want to feel strong. I want to feel powerful. I want to be like everybody else is the problem and I'm just fine. And sometimes I'm not just fine, right? And that's purity of heart. That even during that process, if I'm like, that motherfucker, fuck this, and I'm being mean and angry, this person is safe to be that with, so that I don't have to spill that on the person that I think I should be blaming. And if I'm able to get all that stuff out of my mind, all my negative thoughts, all my blaming and opinions, I'm able to get to the pure me, right? I'm moving obstructions and blocks in my ego and in the blaming to who I really am, and the fact that my feelings were hurt or something else was going on and I need to just feel sad. It's a pure and powerful process. I hope that any number of you watching are able to experience that process any place in your life. And if you're not, please give me a call, because it's just such a powerful, amazing, intense process that'll just bring you back to who you are, which is what everybody wants, because it's the place of the greatest power and confidence. Just being and knowing who you really are. It's good shit, man. Better than anything you can drink or smoke. It's just pure, good being you. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for joining me.